Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to my weekend in Seattle vlog. I'm so excited to share this with you. So we actually flew to Seattle from Charlotte. It was a direct 5-hour flight and we were on the other side of the country in the same day, which was pretty awesome. And so for our lodging, we stayed at the Cedarbrook Lodge. The reason I picked this hotel is because if you know my husband, he is a fish keeper and he's also incredibly outdoorsy. So I thought that this specific hotel would be perfect. It was voted readers' favorite. It is definitely a spa and outdoor oasis. They have this large koi pond that my husband really enjoyed. And they also have a huge amount of greenery. It's so beautiful and so serene, and it's very quiet as well. They also have trails all around the hotel that you can walk, and we actually got to see the chef's garden. So there is a restaurant in the hotel called the Copperleaf Restaurant, and the chef has a garden on site that they use, and so a lot of the food is fresh. Instead of farm to table, it's garden to table, and it was really delicious. We actually had most of our meals at this hotel. But here is just an overview of how beautiful this hotel is. It was definitely a really good vacation spot, especially for a couple's getaway. Now we did arrive late at night, so I'm sorry about the lighting, but here's like a quick overview of our hotel room. The bed was incredibly comfy. It was so soft. We just sunk right into it. There wasn't any amenities for reheating food, but there was a fridge, and it didn't really matter because we were eating at the restaurant anyway. So speaking of that delicious garden to table food, here was our first meal at the Copperleaf Restaurant, which is on site. I had the avocado toast and my husband had the Copperleaf breakfast. The potatoes were absolutely amazing. They were so delicious. So for our first event in Seattle, we decided to take a harbor cruise so that we could get a full view of the entire city prior to actually exploring it. So we did a live tour on this boat that goes around the harbor, where you can see the Needle, you can see the Ferris wheel, you can see a lot of the industrial area as well. Seattle does have a port where a lot of goods come in, so we got to see that as well. And then we got an incredible view of the skyline. It was really nice, and it is the middle of summer, and in Charlotte it is about 100 degrees on a daily basis, but the weather in Seattle is so perfect. I highly suggest going in the summer because the weather was in the 70s, 80s, which was perfect. We were not overheating. We were able to walk around comfortably, and the fresh breeze from the harbor felt so good while we were on the boat. There is a Space Needle that you can see from the boat. We got to learn some really cool facts about the port, and we actually got to see the crane workers pulling off the containers from one of these big cargo ships, which was pretty awesome to see really up close. On day 2, we decided to go check out Pike's Place, and we did so by taking the Link Rail train system in Seattle. Now the tickets are very affordable. They're only $3 per person one way, or $6 back and forth. We actually were fortunate enough that our hotel offered a free shuttle to the Link Rail access from the Seattle airport, and I will show you guys a map of how we got to Pike's Place. So we took the SeaTac Airport link stop, and we got off at the University Street location, and that is going to be your closest walking distance to Pike's Place. We then just followed the signs towards the exit, and within a 5-minute walk, we had arrived at Pike Place Market. So as you saw, we were able to capture the iconic Pike Place Market fish toss, which was so much fun to watch. It definitely drew a huge crowd because it's so iconic. Everyone comes to see that famous fish toss. So afterwards, we went to see the second most iconic thing at Pike Place Market, which is the giant gum wall. Now the gum wall is located in an actual alley, so both sides are covered with gum. We were able to stick our own gum onto the gum wall to add to it. This was definitely fun, but it was also a one and done thing because I can't imagine how many germs are on this wall, but either way, it was still fun. We knocked it off our bucket list. We had a great time and we took lots of pictures and videos, so it was very memorable. Next up, we decided to start trying some of the local vendors, and the first thing we got was this natural beet juice. It was so good, and it was the perfect Kickstarter for a very long day of walking. And then another one of the iconic shops and eating spots is Beecher's Cheese. Now they make the cheese right in front of you, which is really cool to watch. And we got to order the world famous mac and cheese. It was really, really good. It was very cheesy, very creamy. Here's some footage of them putting the orders together. And so we really enjoyed the mac and cheese. It was very delicious, very cheesy. It was definitely not your typical craft box mac and cheese. You can highly tell the difference. The quality is so much better. So we had our mac and cheese. It was very crowded, so we had to eat it outside. Andrew gave it a 10 out of 10. I gave it a 10 out of 10. And we are so glad we knocked this one off our bucket list as well. We had to follow the iconic world's best mac and cheese with the iconic first and oldest Starbucks in Seattle. So of course there was a ginormous line. It's about a 2-hour wait for some coffee, but we were able to get our coffee and take our souvenir picture. So here we are. Here I am, because Andrew's not a big fan of pictures. So I was able to get that little bit of footage in front of the very first Starbucks. Up next, we decided to have something a little sweet to go with our coffee. So we tried a cheesecake from one of the local vendors who also gave us a sample of hot chocolate. The hot chocolate was delicious. I can imagine that it's very popular during the winter months as it snows a lot in Seattle. The cheesecake was the best cheesecake we've ever had. I gotta say, our entire trip in Seattle consisted of some of the best food we've ever had. We did not have a single disappointing meal. We then walked around and just took a look at all the different vendors. There was a huge amount of flower vendors, so if we weren't flying back, I would have gotten a bouquet, but there's no way it would have fit in my suitcase. We also had to try some clam chowder, since Seattle is known for clam chowder, and it was very good. I enjoyed it. And on our walk back to the train, we decided to pick up some frozen apple cider, which was perfect because it was starting to get hot and it was very refreshing. On day 3, we went to see the Space Needle. Oh my gosh, I am obsessed with the Space Needle, mainly because it's like an iconic scene in Grey's Anatomy, and I'm obsessed with that show. But it was really cool to actually finally get to go inside of it and get the tourist side of it. So we got to go up in this golden and glass elevator where you can see the entire city as you're going up. And we got there really early. We got the 9 a.m. tickets, which is the tickets that are right at open. So I suggest that because it did get really crowded starting at 9:30. So if you want to really walk around and see the entire view that the Space Needle has to offer, you definitely want to be one of the first people in the door. But once we got to the top, there is a huge open glass area where you can take pictures and see the whole city and walk fully around the entire Space Needle. And then they also have the floor below it that's a spinning observatory, and that is also fun to do as well. Just keep in mind you can't bring any food down there. Now there are some really cool amenities inside the Space Needle as well, so once you're done taking all your pictures and just awing over how good the view is from the Space Needle, you can go inside and there is a coffee shop, and they also offer alcoholic beverages like mimosas. So can't think of a better place to have a mimosa in than on the Space Needle in Seattle. It was a great view to pair with that mimosa. You can also get a cup of coffee, and the view pairs well with that as well. So definitely check out the Space Needle. Our tickets, we got the early bird special, and our tickets were $70. And of course, I had to FaceTime our girls because we were missing them and we were wishing they were there. So we kind of FaceTimed them the view as well. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this vlog of our weekend in Seattle. We were there for Friday, Saturday. We took off home Sunday, but we really enjoyed all the sightseeing. And I have to say, my favorite take from our entire trip was just the friendliness of everyone in Seattle. No one's ever in a rush. No one's always trying to push by you. You would think that with the city being so touristy, it would be a lot more stressful. However, we had a very relaxed, great weekend. All of the people that we met were so nice and so excited to meet us. So I think this is one of the not as touristy tourist destination where the vibe isn't just a bunch of people pushing everywhere and a bunch of tired employees everywhere. Everyone's just so nice. That being said, I definitely want to come back with the girls. And if you're planning a trip on going there, definitely comment if you have any questions, or if you're from Seattle, definitely comment and let me know if I missed any cool spots so next time I go I can check them out. But that comes to the end of this video. I hope that you guys liked it. I will see you guys in my next one, and thanks for tuning in. Bye.